welcome to another edition of Sunday morning service. And I hope to bring another encouraging message for you this morning. And this one's coming out of Proverbs 18, verse 21. Okay? And it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits." Okay? So what are we talking about here? We're talking about words, right? We're talking about the tongue. We're talking about the things that come out of our mouth. So what I want us to consider is what type of words are we using in our day-to-day life, in our day-to-day interactions? Are we speaking words of life, or are we speaking words of death? Not only into our own lives, but those lives around us, those lives that we're connected to, those lives that we have an effect on. What type of weight are our words carrying? And in a day like today, especially, with the way things are going, the weight of our words are significant. They're important. We've had lockdowns and we've had people, in their homes for months at a time without being able to have that social interaction, without being able to just talk and communicate with each other. And you'll see when you go out into the streets and you're doing your grocery shopping and stuff, you can see where people starve for that interaction, and they'll try to strike up a conversation with you out there. And why is that? That's because words have power. Okay? So if you're cooped up and you're not able to get any of that conversation or give any of that conversation, then you're missing some of that power. Now what is that power good for? Well, if you're ever around anybody that speaks a lot of encouraging words, that you feel good, you feel like you can take on the world, you feel like you can complete any task, right? Well, that's the power of words. That's life in words. Okay, so we're all responsible for our words. We're all responsible for the things that we speak. So I have the ability to speak to you in such a way that's either going to break you down or that's going to build you up. I also have the power to speak words that's either going to lift myself up or break myself down. I can speak life into things, or I can speak death into things. We all can do that. We all have that power. There's so much power in words. We teach with our words, okay? We speak and communicate to other people with our words, all right? We're able to train animals with our words. Words have power. We sing, you get beautiful, beautiful melodies coming out of people's mouths that just captivate people. Okay, that is the power of what comes out of our mouth. So understanding that, then we need to understand that we all yield that power. We all have the ability to speak life or death into existence. We all have the ability to be positive with our mouths or to be negative with our mouths. Which do we want to be? In a time where there's so much division out there, where there's division in government, where people are arguing over political things, where there's stuff going on in the streets, where we have businesses that are struggling or shutting down, where we have people who just don't even know how they're going to keep their home because they don't know if they can pay their rent. What do we see going on in all the chaos? We see a lot of death being spoken. We see a lot of negativity coming out of people's mouths. In a time when everybody needs to be coming together and speaking life, we need to be solving problems. We need to be coming together and working things out. But that's not what we have. We're not a bunch of life-speaking people by nature because we're sinful. If we weren't sinful, then we'd be speaking life all the time. It wouldn't have to be something where God's telling us in His Word that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And we eat the fruits thereof, it says. We eat the fruits thereof. So if I'm speaking poorly to my wife, if I'm not lifting my wife up, if I'm not building my wife up, okay, then I'm reaping from that. I reap the fruits thereof. She's not going to be happy. She's not going to be satisfied. She's going to have a hard time uh, listening to me or communicate with me, I'm going to reap the fruits of that relationship. Okay? If I'm at work and I'm constantly goofing off and constantly running my mouth or whatever the case may be, then I'm going to reap the fruits thereof. I'm not going to get the raise or the promotion or the other position that I was looking for. I'm going to reap the fruits thereof. If I go into a task and I say, oh man, this is hard and I don't think I can do it, I'm going to reap the fruits thereof. I've already spoken into existence that I'm defeated. I can't do it. Now, it's one thing to say, hey, this is a difficult thing to accomplish, but I'm going to get it done anyway. That's speaking life. That's acknowledging the truth. That's saying, hey, this isn't going to be easy. It's probably going to kick my butt, but I'm going to do it anyway. Speaking life. The power of life or death is in the tongue. You know, with our children, if we get frustrated, there could be just a quick moment where you don't think straight and you say something that will affect them. Okay, maybe your kids around, they see the way that your opinion is towards some other adult. Well, they're going to absorb that. They're going to pick up on whatever words. If you say, I don't like so-and-so, or I think they're a piece of whatever, or whatever it is that you say about somebody around there, they're going to absorb that opinion. And especially being your children, they're going to try to mimic that later on in life. So the power of life and death in our tongue. Okay? We could be out just going to the grocery store, minding our own business, and maybe all you do is just say hello to a stranger. Okay? We don't know how much that hello means to somebody. What if they haven't heard somebody acknowledge them personally in weeks? And especially with COVID going on, there's people like that. There's people who don't have people showing care and concern. So the power of life right there, life and death, power of life and death, just saying hello, just greeting a stranger could change somebody's day completely, because you don't know how down and out they are. You don't know how badly somebody may want to just be acknowledged in that moment of time. Excuse me. So that being the case, if we really want to solve the majority of our life's problems, then we need to start speaking more life and less death. We need to start absorbing more life and less death. If we're speaking a lot of negativity in our life, then I'd have to question myself, what am I feeding my spirit with? Because the Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And when we're talking about the heart, we're talking about the spirit. So what are we feeding our spirit with? You know, if we're having a hard time finding a positive foothold, then why is that? What type of people are we surrounding ourselves with? What type of music do we listen to? What type of video games do we play? You know, are they things that build us up in a positive way? Are they things that are encouraging us? They're saying, hey, guess what? You can do it. You can make it. You can achieve. You can be more than what it is that you thought you could be. Maybe you come from a family that's a little bit broken and messed up. Maybe it's drug addiction. Maybe it's sexual addictions. Maybe it's just that they're not very good at loving on each other, and you just want to be able to be good at embracing love and showing compassion and kindness. And whatever the case may be, you got to take hold of it. You got to feed that spirit. You got to believe it, and then you got to speak it out. You know, positivity is work. If you were to get down and start doing push-ups, I mean, maybe there's some of you guys, maybe you're busting out push-ups every day like a champ, but most of you, I could say, hey, give me 100 push-ups straight without stopping. You're not going to be able to do it. But there's a difference between knowing you can't do it and saying, I'm going to do it anyway, than just being negative and not even giving it a shot. And that's life. Life's challenging. Chances are we're not going to be able to do the 100 in a straight shot, but we should get down and we should do it anyway. We should say, hey, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to succeed anyway. I'm going to be a good husband anyway. I'm going to be a good father anyway. I'm going to be a good son anyway. Life is challenging, but we still have a choice how we're going to meet those challenges. If a negative challenge comes our way, we still have an opportunity to be a demonstration in that moment of a positive reaction. Of saying that, hey, yeah, you know, this is challenging, but I think I can meet this in a different way. In the argument, maybe instead of arguing back, maybe instead of spitting venom back, we can take a time out, we can step back, we can evaluate the situation, we can apologize for the role that we play in whatever's going wrong. But we live in a society where we want to point fingers, we want everybody else to take the blame rather than us just take responsibility for our own actions and our own words. If we did more of that, then we'd probably have a lot less issues as a whole. Just as a whole. If we spoke more life and less death. If we didn't talk about people behind their back, or if we did talk about people behind their back, it's because we were building them up. We were talking about how great of a person they were rather than all the things that we disagree with in their life. We need to change our focus and our perspective, especially in the times like this when everybody wants to be divided, when everybody wants to have their own opinion, when everybody's up in arms because they're stressed out, they don't know what's going on. This is the time when it's necessary to say, hey, I'm gonna speak life rather than death. I'm gonna choose to be part of the solution rather than part of the chaos that's going on around. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something negative they can say about something, but that doesn't mean that it has value. The value is in positivity because positivity helps build people up. So that being said, once again, the power of life and death is in the tongue, and we eat the fruit thereof. So we have to ask ourselves, if we're taking bites out of nasty fruit right now in our life, if we're struggling right now, if the fruit seems bad, then what's coming out of our mouth? We have to evaluate ourselves. And I say this because I want you to be encouraged. I need this just as much as anybody else needs this. We need to be encouraged, but we can't be encouraged if we can't speak encouragement. So we have to be able to speak encouragement. We have to be able to be that for somebody else as well. We need to be that for ourselves when nobody else will. And God will help us do that. I hope this message is a blessing to you guys. I really appreciate you. God bless you. I'll see you again next time.